Hello everybody, this is General Yanis, and today in Death Card Tactics I will be making a sort of end of the year summary and review of all the revealed Death Card updates that we have seen so far in anticipation of our codex. So let's take a look. So the 20th of December, holiday season fast approaching, and hopefully our new codex will arrive in the new year. So let's take a moment to review and summarize all revealed and leaked rules and stats. I think also a lot of the discussion in the forum, sometimes we tend to over-focus on one change, but in this one I would like to make, and let's say, what is the overall look on all the changes we have seen so far, and what does it how are the new rules comparing to our current rules, and how will the new Death Card feel, and what direction does Games Workshop seem to be pushing Death Card towards. And of course, what is still uncertain. There is a lot of uncertainty yet until we have the codex, but let's see what conclusions can we draw, or what patterns can we see from the changes so far. So let's take a look. So I tried to make a big summary table. Maybe it became a bit too big, but let's see all the changes trying to be summarized. And I've split it up in general for the whole army, the infantry, characters, and demon engines. Let's start by demon engines. So what we can see, demon engines have been receiving a lot of updates, and the stats we have been seeing that really have been buffing them. Most importantly is the accuracy that demon engines previously were lacking, with only 4+ ballistic skill and weapon skills. Now going forward we will have 3+ ballistic skill and weapon skill, giving us on average 33% more hits in both range than melee, which is really big for our demon engines. The attacks have gone up by 1 attack over the board, but this is a general thing for our army. Basically all our units seem to have been getting more attacks. The range damage is of course also a good improvement. So due to the ballistic skill improvement, we are getting 33% more damage. Here the Plague Burst Crawler, additionally the entropy cannons will be doing much higher damage with D3+3 instead of D6 profile. The other units, mostly their ranged weapons, will remain unchanged. And what we also can see is that with the improvement in the ballistic skill, it's less important, let's say, to have the auto hit weapons like the Furtive Blow Drone was having, or that we for example the plague speeders that the Plague Burst Crawler was having to let's say, to be more consistent. Now cannons can be made work better. If we look in point blank shooting, also here the demon engines have gotten a very big increase with inexorable advance. So now we will not have any penalty shooting having weapons in point blank. So this means 33% more damage, being able to hit on a 3+ instead of a 4+. And with the current units we have today, if we have, let's say, a cannon, the entropy cannon, for example, at point blank today is hitting at 5+. So it will be much more effective going forward than what we are used to today. So for the Plague Burst Crawler, it's an improvement for the entropy and the slugger, the heavy weapons it has that are not auto hit. The Mephitic Blightholder, also a good improvement for its multi-melta and the missile launcher. For example, the other weapons are either assault or rapid fire, so those are not affected. Those are not affected by the minus anyway. And for the Defiler, also the auto cannon, last cannon, and twin heavy bolter will be also improved. If we look at melee damage, also this is significant for our demon engines, 33% more damage going forward due to the weapon skill improvement, the 3+. This doesn't include the Plague Burst Crawler. The Plague Burst Crawler is basically not a melee unit, but now it can do some good damage even if it's locked down due to the point blank shooting. The Furtive Blow Drone received some down the strength for its plague probe, the damage. We also see some strength getting lower for the flesh mower, but this is let's say, counteracted by the -1 toughness aura. And then if we go to durability, for the Demon engines, the durability has gone down, or will go down with a new discussing resilience rule compared to the previous feel no pain. We will be taking 15 to 20% more damage on average from heavy weapons with D6 and D6 plus 2, or the very heavy weapons. The new rule doesn't protect very well against them. Small arms fire, let's say damage 1, can also do more damage, but typically our units have good toughness, so they are maybe not so vulnerable to those units. And then we see here the Furtive Blow Drone. It has lost a wound going down, but the Furtive Blow Drone has gained a lot by losing that one wound, because now it doesn't have any brackets, so it's moving and accuracy doesn't degrade, the number of attacks don't degrade. So I think maybe the Furtive Blow Drone with maybe the Flesh Mower will be really a good unit going forward, making a lot of attacks and getting close to the enemy, giving them a -1 toughness aura could be an interesting unit that we can see more of, depending of course how the points will go. Some of the questions and open points for Demon engines, I assume that the demonic save is kept for the 5+ invul. We still don't know what the Lord of Virulence would do to boost the Demon engines. Maybe some healing or maybe some more damage output, we don't know. For example, something that I was using quite a lot, the accelerated entropy stratagem. Basically, how it's stated today doesn't make any sense now that the entropy cannons are better than what the accelerated entropy was giving them. And one other question is, what about the Mephitic Blightholder, the Trilob ability? We have a confirmation that we can take 3 of them still, but will they get +1 to hit by this? If they do that, then they will be crazy good hitting on 2+. So I'm excited to see what type of unit, what type of this ability would be. If we go to characters, we have seen reveals for Mortarion and Typhus, and yeah, basically for the Demon engines we saw the leaked data sheets for all these, the Plague Scroll, the Mephitic Blightholder and Furtive Blow Drone, and the Defiler we saw the reveal from Warhammer community. So we have a lot of information for these units. For the characters we saw data sheets and the official data sheet for Mortarion and the assembly guides for Typhus. So if we look at Mortarion and Typhus, they got more attacks. For the range damage, Mortarion's pistol range was reduced, so going down. For Typhus, we don't know about his hive, what the profile will be. And if we look at the melee damage, they will do much more damage going forward. The aura of -1 toughness and for Mortarion he has more attacks, and the eviscerating blow is now D3 + 3 instead of D6, so he will be doing 60% more damage with the eviscerating blow. Typhus got 2 attacks more than the others typically, so he will also be doing more damage on average compared to what he's doing today. He also gets increased movement. And if we look at durability, our characters will suffer with a new disgusting resilience, so their durability on average will be lower, and they will be taking more damage from heavy weapons and more damage from mortal wounds and damage 1 weapons. Mortarion counteracts this a little bit by his increased toughness. The Mortarion's points are unchanged for Typhus. What about the invul save? Now that he has a +1 toughness, +1 movement, let's see what is going on. And some questions also for a lot of the warlord traits, for example, revolting resilience, which I liked taking with my demon princes to give them 4+, feel no pain. Probably this has to be completely rewritten now with a new disgusting resilience rule. So let's see what some of these traits maybe can do, hopefully increasing a little bit our durability. If we look at our infantry, we have seen some buffs across the board. In the move, the infantry now with a new inexorable advance will have no penalties in movement, and we have seen that the Blightlord Terminators and the Death Shroud Terminators, like Typhus, they have gotten 5-inch movement, so +1 of what they had before. For accuracy, no big differences in our infantry, except the Death Shroud Terminators that I reviewed last videos. So they have improved weapon skill of 2+, so they will be really doing a lot of damage in melee going forward. All our infantry so far have gotten +1 attack. The possessed have gotten a very big increase in attacks. Now they have 4 attacks instead of previously D3. So this is really, it seems like Games Workshop is pushing the possessed. If we look at range damage, it's a bit more complicated picture here. So we have the inexorable advance and the malicious volleys give slight improvement for the bolters, but only between 18 to 24 inches. So the bolter have not been buffed, and it's quite a strength 4, AP 0, damage 1 weapon. It's nothing super fancy. Of course, some stratagems can buff it. But to get this slight improvement of bolters, we have gotten the negative now that we have to pay the penalty for advancing and shooting assault weapons like melta guns and blight launchers, and we're doing much more damage than our bolters. So we have a bit nerf here if we advance and shoot. And of course it's negative for other rapid fire weapons instead of bolters like plasmas that now will be rapid firing at 12 inch instead of 18 inch, which I think this is a bigger nerf than the bolter is a buff. So all in all a bit lower. And for cultists, for example, their shooting weapons, they seem also rapid fire, they will also probably be lower. So all in all, range damage for our infantry is slightly lower, but nothing critical, but not a big buff, as a lot of people are very excited about this, but I don't think this is really helping us when we are losing some of the other buffs here. Point blank shooting, of course, not applicable for infantry and characters. In melee damage, we have seen good improvements. For the Plague Marines, the Plague Knife has gotten an AP -1. The Flail seemingly lost 1 strength, Flail of Corruption, but due to the -1 toughness aura, the plague contagions we will be getting, the flail damage will stay the same, and today it's one of the really good weapon, probably one of the best weapons for melee we have in our arsenal. The Blightroar Terminators also received buffs to their weapons. The Bale Sword and the Bubotic Axe got increased strength. So together with the minus toughness, more attacks and so on, they will be really damaging even to vehicles. And the flail, of course, stays the same. The Deathshroud Terminators, they lost 1 strength, but together with the Man Reaper and the improved weapon skill and the -1 toughness aura, they will be doing much more damage in close combat, 25% more. And the Possessed, as I said, 4 attacks instead of D3 attacks, and Plague Weapon ability, a very big improvement in melee combat here. Durability, even if the new durability rule is less good than our Feel No Pain, the infantry has received more wounds to be on par with Space Marines. And basically, if I calculate the different scenarios that I've been doing in my previous videos, I think it will be increased durability compared to our current rules because we have more wounds. Of course, if we could keep the Feel No Pain and get the more wounds, we will be crazy durable. Of course, that would have been better, but this is the situation right now. So we are still a bit, our infantry will be as durable as it is today, or even higher, because we're getting 1 wounds. But maybe the difference to the Space Marines will be lower. Poxwalkers, so we haven't seen any reveals, but with the new rules, basically right now it leaves them with no saves. So I really expect we will probably seeing some new rules for the Poxwalkers. The Cultist is also a bit, they also will be suffering from this. So some open points for our infantry. What will the Plague Surgeon effect be? Previously he was helping discussing resilience rolls. Can he be getting some infantry back to life like an apothecary? What will happen? And of course, number of attacks for the flail, I would like to know. I hope the flail also will, maybe it will be a straight 2 attacks per flail instead of a D3, but let's see if that stays high. And the Terminators, with the increased movement, will we be nerfing the inval save like we saw Terminators do for Space Marines? This is, I think, what most people will expect. So trying to summarize all this in one line here. So in general, our movement has been a bit improved. Our infantry can move with no penalties from terrain. The accuracy, the demon engines have gotten good increases in accuracy where they were suffering before. For attacks, we have seen at least +1 attack for everything so far. Range damage, the demon engines have increased the ballistic skill and some weapons have been stronger. For infantry, it's slight overall nerf. We've seen the plague flamers range increase across the board, and the contagion rule of -1 toughness will help also the range damage, but probably for later turns. In the beginning, the aura is quite limited, so it will not, let's say 1 inch or 3 inch range for the aura will not help so much for our shooting units of the opponent. At the end of the game, maybe most of the opponent's units will be within our aura, and then all our units that are alive by then can shoot with increased let's say effect due to the -1 toughness. Point blank shooting definitely buff. No penalties for our vehicles shooting heavy weapons in point blank. This can be really good and a huge deterrent for the enemy not to try to lock down our big demon engines in combat. In melee damage, this is probably the strongest buffs here. We have an overall improvement due to contagion rule, -1 toughness already from turn 1. Basically, with this rule, every time we are locked in melee, our units will get the benefit of the -1 toughness aura. The demon engines have increased their weapon skill. As I said, 30 blow drone with mower, defiler will be very strong in melee. Mephitic Blightholder also will be better. The Plaguebear Scroller not so much, but it will benefit from point blank. And also our infantry, we have more attacks and better strengths and AP for the weapons, or similar for the very good weapons like the flails. So in melee, it seems really where we have gotten from so far very big updates. The durability is lower. This is one of our trademarks from previously. We get basically lower durability for most weapons, damage 1, 4, 5, 6, D3, D6, and mortal wounds. We will be getting better durability for D2 weapons and equal for damage 3 and D3 weapons. But our durability, at least for our infantry, as I can see the math, our infantry will be as durable as it is currently. And of course, the big questions and open points. Of course, we don't know the point costs of all these units. Will the Hateful Assault be gone? If it's not gone, if we keep the Hateful Assault together with the +1 attack, we're even more stronger in melee than I assumed here. So basically, this is really where we got a huge buff. And of course, Death to the False Emperor, will we keep that? It wasn't in Mortara's datasheet. And of course, what other synergies and rules and all our characters' abilities, how will those be going forward? So, summarizing death card trends and the unknowns. So, general trends from what we have so far, we will be doing more damage and we will be less durable on average. So this to me sounds we are getting more mainstream, because today we were a bit not as damaging as some other armings, but we were really durable in the field. We were really tough to remove. Now we'll probably be more easy to remove, but we will also be doing more damage. So basically more like a Space Marine army, unfortunately, maybe. The demon engines seem to have been getting big buffs to damage output for ranged melee and point blank, but less durable to heavy weapons. For example, in Eradicator meta, our demon engines will be less durable from the looks of it. All our units so far have gotten more attacks, more consistent damage output in subsequent fight phases. If we keep Hateful Assault, then it's really, it's like 25-30% more damage from what we are used to. Our infantry gets more durable due to getting more wounds, and they can do more damage in melee due to some better weapons, more attacks, and the -1 toughness aura. Our toughness 5 and the new disgusting resilience rule still keeps us more durable than the compared Space Marines. For example, our Plague Marines will be more durable than intercessors, and our Blightlord Terminators will also be more durable than the equivalent Terminators or Aggressors or something like this from Space Marines. Some weapons have gotten an apparent nerf in the strength, but it's compensated basically by the -1 toughness aura, like the flail. Overall, we see a trend towards less dice roll, so we will not have a lot of feel no pain rolls, and it seems like a trend that a lot of the variable damage D3 weapons are becoming straight damage 2, like for example the Blight Launchers that are one of my favorite weapons. We have seen more movement to our Terminators and Typhus. Will this impact the invul save? And all in all, what I see right now is that it seems like a push towards more melee oriented damage versus a ranged army for Death Guard. For example, the Possessed seems like Games Workshop is pushing them, giving them a lot of attacks, more wounds, everything, and proposing us basically to buy Possessed and use those. The -1 toughness aura, the point blank rules, everything seems to be pointing towards a melee centered army. So open questions and what we have to wait for until we get our hands to the codex. Of course, the point costs, because yeah, we could be making more damage or more durable or whatever, but if the points change a lot, then maybe we will be less damaging if everything increases a lot. But hopefully, I hope we will not see huge point increases now that they have nerfed a bit our durability. Of course, all other rules, stratagems, traits, etc., some of them that we are using today don't make sense now with the new rules, and of course those will be updated. But let's see what will be in the Magician's Hat. Hateful Assault, the invul saves, and Death to the False Emperor. Death to the False Emperor and the Hateful Assault were not on Mortarion's sheet. People suggest that maybe such abilities are part of army-wide abilities, but let's see. So, summary and final thoughts. Many of the changes we have seen so far have been quite strong buffs, especially regarding dealing damage and especially for our demon engines. Our durability will be seemingly lower apart from our infantry, which will keep the similar durability as it has today due to more wounds. In the end, all will depend on the final points updates, of course. And when I have the points updates and all the stats, I will do a lot of comparisons point for point and try to see which units are our best value for points. But this is, of course, in the new year. However, I strongly believe that the Death Guard will be nicely playable, also with the new codex, as the 2020 year has been very special, turns to a hopefully better 2021. We will have less dice rolling, and maybe it will feel quite different how to play them going forward, but I think we will adapt. So basically, this concludes this video, and probably I'll see if I can make some more videos over the holidays. If you want to support my work going forward and make a small contribution for this channel, I've created a Patreon page for you can see the address here, and if you it's completely voluntary, and if you want to make a small contribution, keep making sure that I can continue. I have time to continue doing the math and review and posting content about Death Guard tactics. You're free to you're welcome to join and become a Plague Marine or a Blightlord Terminator in the Patreon page. But of course it's not a must, and I will be posting all videos in YouTube in any way. This summarizes the video. What do you think about all the Death Guard Codex. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe to my channel, where I will be posting more videos on death card tactics going forward. With these words, General Yanis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye bye.